Prepare to die. One of the most infamous taglines in recent gaming history. It's a tagline that, in part, has helped spread the idea that Dark Souls is the most difficult game of all time. But while it may have achieved infamy, it's a phrase that falls short when it comes to defining one of the most resolutely unique games of this generation. After all, if a player truly wants to prepare themselves for the Dark Souls experience, they should also prepare to wonder, prepare to explore, prepare to be amazed, prepare to be confused, prepare to fall under its spell. So let's just forget about the game's difficulty for a while, forget about the frustration, the struggle, and the sense of achievement that comes for those who persevere, because Dark Souls 2 is coming, and if anything, you need to be properly prepared. When Dark Souls 2 was first announced, fans were right to be worried. Talk of making the game into a competitor to the Elder Scrolls series, of making it more accessible, had players wondering if the ornate world they loved would be neutered for the sequel. Well, after spending some time hands-on with the game at this year's E3, we can tell fans not to worry, and newcomers that they should be very excited indeed. Dark Souls 2 preserves all of the aspects that made the original one of the best games of this generation, and has received plenty of tweaks and changes that are set to push it even closer to eternal greatness. Many of these features will only mean something to players of Dark Souls for the moment. More flexible classes, easier fast travel, true dual wielding of weapons are among the tweaks that fans will welcome, but Dark Souls 2 is not just about the little things. Or at least, it's about the little things with big impacts, like details. Dark Souls 2 is built from the ground up on a completely new engine. The results are graphics that blur the line between this and next generation, with richly detailed worlds full of incredible weather and lighting effects. The fight with the demo's boss, the terrifying Mirror Knight, showed off some storm effects that were breathtaking. This boss fight also showcases one of the game's other high-impact changes, artificial intelligence. The AI in Dark Souls was pattern-based. You'll have no such luck in Dark Souls 2, where enemies will adapt, react, and make the most of gaps in your defense. Hey, we didn't say it was going to be easy. What we don't know about Dark Souls 2 is much about its setting or the story behind it. All we know is that it is set in the same world as the original. This world is a difficult one to summarize. Complex to the point of impregnable, it has taken some of the most committed players hundreds of hours to gather up all the lore hidden in the original and make it digestible. Its history is not hidden in books, or notes, or collectible logs. It is in the carvings, characters, and places of its world. Its name is Lordran, and it is cursed. Dark Souls 2 appears to return players to some of its locations, with its dragon-infested castle being a dead ringer for the painted world of Aramis. But when and why, we don't know. But that's the beauty of Dark Souls, the mystery, the hidden secrets, the not knowing. It's an aspect that seems to have been preserved in its sequel, with a bigger and more complex world promised for those brave enough to explore it. After all, in our time with the game's E3 demo, we died. A lot. Thankfully, we were prepared, and in its beauty, complexity, and of course, difficulty, our time with Dark Souls 2 did not disappoint.